He could have stopped it. He could have walked away. He could have answered violence with power, accusation with glory, and hatred with judgment. But on Good Friday, Jesus did something far more terrifying and far more beautiful. He stayed. He stayed through the betrayal. He stayed through the mockery. He stayed under the weight of the cross. He stayed until love had given everything. That is why this day is called Good Friday. Welcome back to Daily Saints with Grace. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Today we enter the most solemn day of Holy Week, Good Friday of the Lord's Passion. On April 3rd, 2026, the Church proclaims the Passion according to John and leads the faithful into the mystery of the cross through silence, intercession, and veneration. The readings place before us the suffering servant of Isaiah, the obedience of Christ in Hebrews, and the Passion in John's Gospel. Good Friday is not simply the day Jesus died. It is the day divine love endured everything rather than leave us unredeemed. There is something different about Good Friday from the moment it begins. The Church does not celebrate Mass. The altar is stripped. The tone is stark. The liturgy moves with a kind of holy restraint. Why? Because Good Friday is not a day for noise. It is a day for awe. The Church wants us to feel the weight of what happened, not to rush past it, not to sentimentalize it. She wants us to stand still long enough to understand that the salvation of the world was not won cheaply. One of the deepest truths of Good Friday is this: Jesus was not merely a victim of events spiraling out of control. John's Passion makes that painfully clear. He knows what is coming. He steps forward. He answers. He carries the mission all the way to its completion. That does not make the suffering less real. It makes the love inside the suffering more overwhelming. He was betrayed, but not surprised. He was condemned, but not defeated. He was crucified, but not stripped of purpose. Good Friday is not the collapse of Christ's mission. It is the hour in which he fulfills it. The Passion is not symbolic pain. It is real pain, real abandonment, real humiliation, real wounds, real thirst, real blood, real death. The Church does not proclaim the Passion as a moving myth. She proclaims it because it truly happened. Isaiah's servant is despised and rejected, pierced for our offenses, and made an offering for sin, while John gives us the historical, concrete account of arrest, trial, crucifixion, and death. Good Friday matters because the suffering of Christ is not an idea. It is the real act by which he gave himself for the world. And that is why the sorrow of Good Friday cuts so deeply, not because it is dramatic, but because it is true. He didn't walk away. He could have refused the garden. He could have silenced his accusers. He could have overwhelmed his enemies. He could have come down from the cross. But he did not. And that is the difference between mere suffering and redeeming love. Jesus did not remain because nails were stronger than he was. He remained because love was. Good Friday is the day love refused to save itself so that it could save us. Many people speak about God's love in abstract words. Good Friday does not allow abstraction. On this day, love has a face. Love has wounds. Love has silence. Love has endurance. Love has a cross. The cross is where God's love becomes undeniable, not because suffering itself is good, but because Christ chose to enter suffering and fill it with obedience, mercy, and self-gift. When you look at Good Friday, you are not looking at a distant lesson. You are looking at what it cost for sin to be conquered and for heaven to be opened. Good Friday is heartbreaking, but it is not hopeless. That is why the Church dares to call it good. The suffering is real, but so is the victory hidden inside it. The humiliation is real, but so is the kingship hidden inside it. The death is real, but so is the love that transformed death from within. Hebrews presents Christ as a high priest who learned obedience through what he suffered. and John's passion leads us not into chaos, but into completion. So Good Friday is not good because the pain was small. It is good because the love was absolute. Good Friday is not just something that happened to Jesus long ago. It is about us, our sin, our wandering, our pride, our betrayals, our indifference, our fear, our refusal to love as we should. He carried what was ours, and that is why this day should break us open, not into despair, but into repentance, not into shame without hope, but into gratitude so deep it changes the heart. Because when you finally understand Good Friday even a little, you stop asking whether Christ loves you. You know, Good Friday asks for more than emotion. It asks us to stop running from the cross in our own lives. It asks us to trust divine love, even when obedience hurts. It asks us to forgive. It asks us to stay near Jesus when faith feels costly, stripped, and dark. The world teaches us to flee suffering at all costs. Good Friday teaches us that love can remain faithful inside suffering without becoming meaningless. That is not a call to glorify pain. It is a call to trust Christ within it. He could have walked away. That is what makes Good Friday so devastating and so beautiful. He could have stopped it. He could have answered every blow with glory. He could have abandoned the road to Calvary, but he did not walk away. He stayed for the betrayer. He stayed for the sinner. He stayed for the broken. He stayed for us. So on this Good Friday, do not look at the cross from far away. Stand before it. Stay there. Let it tell you the truth about mercy. Let it tell you the truth about love. Because Good Friday is the day Jesus did not walk away. And if this reflection helped you enter more deeply into the passion of the Lord, subscribe, share it with someone preparing for Easter, and tell me in the comments what part of the Passion moves you most deeply.